Hello, everyone. Welcome to Arise with Grace, the podcast that celebrates and empowers the stories of strong, resilient women of faith who have moved from surviving to thriving and from pain to promise. I am your host, Phoenix Grace. I've been through both literal and figurative fires in my life. In the midst of my wilderness season, God told me, "You have walked through fire and survived. Now you will rise from the ashes and thrive." So I did. Now I have made it my mission to help empower women to be who they were created to be and live life in full bloom: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. All right. So, Desiree, yeah, you're telling me your story about how the secret question you had for God was answered. And so, where did you go from there after that? After you got that answer?
Yeah, after I got that answer, I felt a level of freedom. Something that I'm learning about freedom is that freedom can be experienced in layers. And once I got to that first layer, I was so excited. I was like, yes, all right, breakthrough is happening. This is awesome. This is great. And I continued running after him and running after healing ever since then. Like there was still some internal struggles I had to work through and some old mindsets that needed to be shifted. But I had my first piece, which was knowing that I am loved by God, knowing that I am not too broken for God to fix, knowing that I do not have to be perfect for him to want me, for him to love me, for him to choose me. And so I continue to read my Bible, I continue to meet with my mentor. I have met with several mentors over the years who have been able to help me in navigating various different family things that I mentioned earlier in the show here, and a few mental health struggles as well. Um, I also started watching therapy videos online that have been helping in stopping me from recreating old habits that I saw when I was younger and helping me identify them and choose a different way to go about things, which has been really helpful and really great. Um, so yeah, that's been
Great. Oh,
my
that's so
journey so
good.
far.
So
I've been
that's,
learning that yeah, I've been
wow.
learning that
So,
healing is a
if
journey,
you could
final
speak,
destination.
go ahead. Keep going.
Oh, it's okay. I've been learning that healing is a journey, not a final destination. Like there are moments where it's like, yes, I've broken through, I've gotten past this, is awesome. And if you find that there's another layer, to not get bogged down with bogged down on yourself, like, oh come on, I thought I dealt with this, I thought I healed from this. Like, know that there's another layer that's coming, and that's okay. It's all right. It's all part of the journey and all part of the process.
So good. So if you could speak to the girl that you were, the young woman you were, you know, that you were feeling that, oh, the push and pull of divorce, um, of not fitting in, knowing where home was, all of those things of wanting to feel right with the cutting, like if you could speak to someone in that situation, what what would your message be to them?
I actually want to read an excerpt from one of my books, if that's okay. So,
Yes,
I,
absolutely.
this book is called Winning the Silent Battle, and in here in chapter 3, I have what I call a letter from Abba, and it reads, "My dear child, it was never my intent that you would go through so much pain. It was never my intent that you would have these holes in your heart. I am so sorry for the pain you've been through. I'm so sorry for all the disappointment that you've endured. Will you allow me to heal the broken places in your heart? Will you allow me to fill them with my gold lacquer? Will you allow me to bring you joy again? Will you allow me to love you completely, intimately, and fiercely? I love you. I love you. Here's a glorious crown of life that I want to place on your head. There is a beautiful garment of purple that I want to place around your shoulders. You are my beloved. You are my treasure. I delight in you. I was not in the voices that tried to silence yours, but I am here with you now. I've always been with you, with my arms wrapped around you. I've never left you. In the darkest moments that you faced, you were not alone. I was there with you. I was holding your hand. I will carry you through every darkness. I will carry you through every pain into the light if you let me. I love you. I love you so much. Will you let me bring you into a place of healing and wholeness? It is my desire that you would be whole and be fully who I created you to be. Beautiful, strong, brave, holy, loved. You are so loved. I am here always. Sincerely, your kingly father.
Oh, that is so beautiful. I got God bumps just listening. That is just wow. Wow. So is God, as you were sharing that, God was giving a message, right? That's a message from God. And in writing that in your book, I'm sure God was working through some more of those layers, right? That you were talking about the layers to be healed and wow. And speaking of wholeness and who you're created to be, that is just so powerful, so beautiful. Wow. Wow. I can see the layers and the unraveling but the putting back together like you said with gold, putting back together with gold like the what is it called? Is it how do you say it? The Japanese is it kintsugi? Put the broken pieces together with the gold, right? And it's even more beautiful put
Yeah.
together the way God puts it together, right?
I want to say it's called kintsugi. I could be wrong. I wrote it in here and I can't find it, which is sad. But yeah, okay. Yeah, I think it's called kintsugi. I think. I could be wrong. We'll just like put it in
Mhm.
the description box. In the
That's okay. I put you on the spot. That's beautiful. So I can see that. Now, also, what life verses or Bible verses really speak to you, either currently or through that time period?
yeah, so Bible verses that's so this particular Bible verse has been my life verse uh, since I was a sophomore in college. And another verse that I also cling to is Romans 8:38 through 39, for I'm convinced that neither death nor life, nor powers nor principalities, um, nothing in this world can separate us from the love of Jesus. That is very paraphrased because there are a lot more things that it lists there. But this other verse from Isaiah chapter 61, verses 1 through 3.
Yeah.
And lately, as I've been growing and praying more, verse 4 as well. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the
Mm.
display of his splendor. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. And then the final verse that has been really speaking a lot these last like 7 to 8 months is from Isaiah chapter 60, verses 1 through 3. It says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. See, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the peoples. But the Lord rises upon you, and his glory appears over you. Nations will come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your dawn." So, yeah, recommended reading Isaiah, all of 60, all of 61, Romans 8. All good,
Yeah.
all good.
Well, I shared with you before, Desiree, that those are also verses that really speak to me, right? In the spirit of the Lord, and it talks about like, beauty for ashes and oil of joy for mourning and all these things, right? And the last one, arise. So that's definitely what this whole show is about arising and going from pain to promise, from striving to thriving. Really good segue to, we've talked about your past, the things you went through, the transition, what really um, showed you who you are, your identity in Christ, the layers of healing and the wholeness that you through um, with Christ. Oh, there's
Hi,
Kitty.
this is Maddie the Tatty
Hello.
Cat.
And so that's a good segue. If look like right now, the promise, like tell me what you're up to now, what you're doing, the things that you're interested in, the messages, you know. Yeah.
Mhm. Um, so yeah, I do a fair amount of things. I'm not gonna go through the entire Rolodex because we would be here for like a while. But I do a lot of writing, and I lead a writers group as part of Kingdom Writers Association, which is an international network of scribes that love the Lord and love to write and share His message in various different forms, whether it be journaling or blog posts or poetry or songwriting or fantasy novels or um, fiction, nonfiction, all of that. And it's been really great to be a part of a network of people who love Jesus but also love to write. And it's been an absolute joy. Like, I sometimes miss my English classes because I'm like, I miss people who just like sit and analyze literature and write, and being involved in KWA is amazing because it fills that missing piece there. And I get to help inspire and encourage other people to write as well, which is awesome. I have written a few books, and one of them is a collaboration called Broken Chapters, and
And what
the
does KWA is Kingdom Writers?
association.
Okay,
Oh, a little bit
association.
there.
Okay.
Oh, you still with me?
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Sorry,
Can you hear me?
technology. Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here. So, Kingdom Writers
KWA, the
Association.
Kingdom Association. Hmm. So yeah, the chapter
Um,
that I lead is an in-person
okay.
chapter,
And
Waukesha, Wisconsin, all all over.
okay.
Um, and yeah, I've written a few different books. Winning the Silent Battle is my second book. That's where I talk more in depth about my healing journey, and I also follow that up with a collaboration called Broken Chapters, and that includes works from 20 other amazing writers and artists, all of which sharing stories of times in our lives when we've been absolutely broken and beaten down, and God has come in and brought in healing and restoration, and it is such a powerful, amazing book. I would say that even if I wasn't an author in it, because it's wonderful.
Yeah.
My just chapter 10
It is. I read your
out of pain to depth,
chapter and I read some of
parts
the
of my
other
healing journey, and
chapters
that one is
in the book. Amazing.
thank you. On the back of my chapter, I offer a course um, for those who come from or who and I bring them through a healing journey, an identity study, a forgiveness course, and a practical next steps course. What to do now after having gone through this. And the goal of it is to get people to stop
Okay.
identifying with pain, because that's one of the things that I struggled with is I identified myself with that pain, and that was one of the things that was keeping me from moving forward into everything that God has for me. So that is part of Rise Ministries 413, which there'll be a link that y'all can click on that will take you to that and will also take you to my website for books and stuff. But I do that, and in my spare time, I
Okay.
cat, as you saw.
I'll have to look at that because I missed that part.
That's all right. But I spend time with my cat. I go for hikes. I like looking for sea glass, spending
I
time with
did.
friends
I
and
saw your
family.
kitty. Nice. So
Um,
there was,
but yeah,
I noticed a few other
that's
things
what
on
draws
your
me.
site. Yeah, are you still doing, like, there's a few things, you had Glory Cloud Resting, said a group of creatives bringing people into encounter with God through words and music. Um, I saw you
Yes.
had that as part of
Um,
your YouTube channel. Very beautiful
mhm.
things on there too. Very, yeah, yeah. And
Thank
then
you.
I saw some of your work. Yeah, beautiful. What was it called? Letters from Abba. Is that what it was?
Letters from Abba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh. Get right to the heart. Like I was like, yes, I've got to have this lady on my show. She has beautiful, beautiful. I love the way you express, and it is the heart. I can really feel and know that it is the heart of God too. So it's beautiful. Talk about beauty from ashes,
Thank
right?
you. I'm glad.
um, and then I saw you. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say that's the whole point I do them is to point people towards God and help them hear His heart in the midst of heartache and life.
Absolutely. Wow. And then I saw you had a clothing collection called Rise. Uh, and it says, Remember I'm strong enough. And
Hmm.
apparently you have courses too. Is that right? What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the
Rise. I
course.
like that.
Yeah. So it's a clothing collection that people can wear to remind themselves that no matter what they're going through, remember to, in the strength of the Lord when your own strength feels like it's failing. And yeah, it's just a great encouragement. I wear it sometimes just to remind myself because life is a lot sometimes. And it's a good reminder.
Yes. Wow. I think like I can identify with that, and I know the women that are listening will have gone through a few things too, and just yeah. So if you were um we'll share your link and you can tell a little bit about that. But first, while we're here, um, what is your message, your main message? Like if you're gonna bring it home that you want to share, what would it
My
be?
main message is to hold on because pain ends. If you think of your life as a book, there are chapters in it. There are chapters that you love and are excited about, and You're like, I'm gonna put this on the fridge. I'm gonna tell everyone, like, this is exciting. I bought my first house. I got a promotion. I got married. I had these kids. Like, all these different things happen in life that we're excited about, and we want the whole world to know about it and
Hmm.
celebrate with us. And then there are things that come in our lives that we're like, do people really need to know this though? Like, maybe not talk about it. And those can be moments of embarrassment, they can be moments of pain and grief and loss. And those moments in our lives, they feel like they can go on forever sometimes, but those are chapters in the midst of a huge book that is written about our lives. In Psalm 139, I believe it's verse 16, talks about how the days that we live were written, already written before one of them came to be. So the bad thing that you might be going through right now, it is a chapter, or maybe even a couple chapters, in the midst of a huge book about you. And in that huge book, there is so much more than just that pain. There's hope, there is love, and there is victory.
Yeah. So good. So good. Wow. Wow. Um, so yeah, so if people want to reach you, what is the link to go check out, your books, your courses, your products, your YouTube, all that? Like, do you have one link that they can go to?
Yeah, I would love to give you guys like 50 links and just completely overwhelm you, but I have a one link. So if you go to one link slash Desiree Thiessa, you'll be able to access everything from that. So you'll have my main website where you can access all of my books. And if you subscribe, you get a free ebook. Everyone loves freebies, so you have that option. Rise Ministries 413, that's where you can access about. I apologize. And that's also where you can access my
No
YouTube channel,
worries.
Glory Cloud Resting, and as a few songs friends started writing, and hopefully that blesses you and brings you into a time and place of worship. You'll be able to access the clothing collection that we mentioned. All of that's on the one link there, so that'll be in the description for you. And hope you check it out.
Perfect. Well, Desiree, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed our time together, and I appreciate you and what God has done in your life and has continued to do in your life. And everyone, check out Desiree's website and be blessed. Be blessed. Keep blooming in Him. Take care. Yes, yes. Thank you, Desiree.